A good lead magnet's supposed to attract your most ideal clients to it like a magnet. But what if your lead magnet just doesn't stick? It happens more than you'd think.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And rather than trying to force it, it's probably a better idea to fix it instead. So in this video, I'm gonna nicely rip apart 6 lead magnets that aren't really capturing people as well as they could. And since this is really all about helping you make the best possible lead magnet for your business, I'm gonna show you how I would personally fix each one of these to be stickier and much more irresistible. So the whole point of using a lead magnet is to build your email list, which is still the #1 most important thing you can do to build that runway of future clients, which is how you build your business. Now, in case you don't know, a lead magnet, otherwise known as a freebie, is just a valuable piece of free content that you give away in exchange for someone's email address. So there are literally hundreds of lead magnet types that you could choose from, but whatever form it takes, they opt in, you deliver it. Usually that process is automated, and then is where the magic really happens. You send more helpful, value-packed emails in the days and weeks that follow to build trust and cement you as the business that they really want to work with. So with that basic understanding out of the way, let's now look at some lead magnets that I was able to find online that fall into some of the really common traps that I see so many small businesses fall into when it comes to creating their lead magnets. And just to be clear here, I am not here to troll these businesses or to be negative. I just want to point out what's likely to hold these back and what I would do differently to boost opt-ins. And hey, you can use these points when planning your lead magnets too, so that you can explode your email list and your runway of future clients. So let's see what we got. All right, so I've got 6 lead magnets pulled up here. So we're gonna take a look at each, and I'm gonna show you what I would change personally to make each perform better. So let's start with this one from Think Active. This is the free at-home exercise ebook. So what's wrong with this? It looks pretty good, right? The design is good. The biggest problem I can see with something like this is just way too general. People know that they can go on YouTube or a million other places and get workouts that they can do at home. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to ask for someone's email address for something like this. Now, what would I do instead to tweak this, to fix it, to make it perform better? So the first thing I would do is I would want to come up with something to make it a little bit more specific and a little more results based. Because right now, all this promises to do is teach me some at-home workouts. You know, there's no result attached to this. There's no end story benefit attached to it. So something more like how to set up your own at-home gym for under $100, something like that. That is a higher value because it has an actual end goal to it. You're setting up a gym. Free home exercises, that's just saying, here's some exercises, go nuts. But anytime you can promise that result in the end, you're gonna do much better. The other thing I would really think about here is the format, right? How many people are going to want to learn exercises from an ebook or a PDF? I wouldn't, right? I would definitely rather go onto YouTube, get some video instruction. So what I would do if this were mine is I would probably restructure this to make it either that, build your gym at home for under $100 or whatever that dollar amount is in a certain period of time. Or if they were going to be exercises you could do at home, I would structure it in a way where it becomes a timed challenge. 5-day challenge, 10-day challenge, 30-day challenge, where every day I'm emailing them a new either workout plan for that day or a new video showing them a new workout that they can add to the stack to get to those results in the end. So anything physical like this, where it's showing a workout or showing something that you have to get moves right to do, does not make a whole lot of sense to do in a written form. I would always rather see a video, and then having that timed challenge really helps it come to life and shows you, okay, if you stick with me here for these 30 days, on the other side, this is the result you're gonna get. So much more interesting that way, so much more likely for someone to hand over their email address for something like that. Okay, but now it is time for our second lead magnet. This one is from Horton, and the lead magnet is a case study. So case studies can be great. They can show what you've done for other clients, which is a good way for someone to feel like, you can help them. The problem I have with it when you just say, check out our case study or download our case study, is there's no inherent benefit for the person who's downloading it. So if you read this, it says download to learn more about how we helped create their vision from start to finish. Do you see how business centered that is? About Horton as a business, not about the company that they helped, and certainly not about you, the person who's going to download this to learn something from it. And the good news is here, Horton probably doesn't need to do much at all in terms of reworking the actual content of the lead magnet. I would say a simple renaming, retitling of this will work wonders. You know, I might retitle this something like the behind the scenes secret way one company used its branding to double sales in 30 days and how you can replicate their results. Right? That is still a case study, but it's making it all about the results that not only this company got, but that you can replicate for yourself. So case studies can be good, but you gotta give it the right title. All right, our next lead magnet up here is from B2B Marketing, and this lead magnet is called Evolution to Revolution, How COVID-19 and Behavioral Trends Will Shape the Role of the CMO, Causing a Seismic Shift Towards Marketing-Led Organizations by 2030. Now, I'm betting you can guess what I'm going to say here, right? This is so wordy to the point of being, I'm kind of at a loss here in terms of what this even means to the CMO who's reading this. But when I look down here and I read the description, you know, we've got these bullet points, which I love bullet points when it comes to selling a lead magnet, kind of telling people what they'll be able to achieve or the results they'll get or what they'll learn, that kind of thing. I found one bullet point right down here buried, it's the third one, that I think actually could make for a great lead magnet. It's talking about the qualifications and skills you need to become tomorrow's Chief Marketing Officer. So if this title were to simplify and refocus on how to future-proof your career as a Chief Marketing Officer, something like 5 indispensable skills you need to master to become the CMO of tomorrow and make sure you're never out of a job. That speaks to something very real that people are worried about. Certainly more than this mouthful of a title. And you could tell me, Wes, but this lead magnet is for people who are specialized. That's going to mean something to them. I reject that out of hand. I do not think that language would appeal to almost anybody, even if they're a chief marketing officer or not. Speaking in plain language that actually helps solve a real fear or a real pain point is always going to do much better than writing to impress, which is what this title seems to be doing. Okay, but now on to our next lead magnet. So this one is from Simply Together, and this one is called Rebuild Your Relationship Free 4-Day Challenge. And then it goes on to say, get a free sneak peek into our course and learn what it takes to feel closer and more connected to your man. Okay, so first of all, what do I like about this? I think the main premise of this, Rebuild Your Relationship Free 4-Day Challenge, is pretty strong. Where I think it goes a little sideways is in the description. So what I'm picturing from this is I'm picturing 4 days worth of material where I'm going to build on each thing in order to save my relationship. But what this says is it basically says, no, you're not going to get that. You're just going to get a free sneak peek into our course and learn what it takes to feel closer. Learning what it takes is not the same as doing something or accomplishing something. In other words, the title says I will rebuild my relationship. This says I will learn what it takes to rebuild my relationship. Those are two very different things. And the fact that I am now asking questions about, okay, what is this actually going to be, makes me very unlikely to part with my name and email address right here. So what would I do differently? I already like the concept of this. Now it's just a matter of delivering on the promise of rebuilding the relationship. So what I would rather see in this description then is builds on this, where it's basically saying you'll get 4 daily assignments that when done all together, you will be well on your way to rebuilding your relationship. And then it's just a matter of then following through on that promise and sending out those 4 daily emails as part of the challenge. Okay, now it's time for our next lead magnet, and this is a free ebook, Your Guide to Finding a Better Financial Advisor. Okay, so my big problem with this kind of lead magnet, and I see this one a lot actually, a good lead magnet is not a hiring guide, okay? The best kind of lead magnet solves the problem that someone would need you for to begin with. So in other words, no one's problem is finding a better financial advisor. What's the problem they're facing where they need a financial advisor to begin with? Solve that problem instead. So what you really want to do here is come up with some kind of a lead magnet that's going to help them with their financial problem that you actually charge to fix. So this can be a little micro thing that you can kind of give them a quick win for. It could be some kind of a checklist. It could be a 3-day video series. It could be a starter kit with a few different elements that's going to promise to get their, monthly budget in order, or just some little thing where you've gotten them a little bit of a win that they can see tangibly, and now they're like, okay, cool, what else you got? And that's the beauty of what a lead magnet does. It's supposed to make people, it's supposed to give them a taste of what you can do for them, and now they want more, and you're the person who's gonna give it to them. All right, moving right along to our next lead magnet. This is from The Knot. It's a wedding planning website, and this says a free wedding checklist made for you. Let us pick up the checklist. Okay, clever wordplay there. Add personalized to-dos and organize your day all for free. So on the face of it, this actually seems pretty solid. Where I have questions though, it says a free wedding checklist made for you. If all I'm doing is putting in my email address, and this one's asking for a password, so I guess it's asking me to kind of sign up for The Knot. It's a free service, but I guess that's their tactic here. I'm struggling wondering how this is a wedding checklist made for me, because they're not asking for anything. So what I would probably recommend here to make this stronger is to combine the checklist with a quiz, where basically you're asking like maybe 5 questions in a row, and the result of those answers is going to make a personalized checklist just for me. Now, something like that's incredibly valuable. I'll show you what I mean. There's one I've found from Neil Patel, and this is along the lines I'm talking about. It says, it's a totally different topic, but it's what I'm saying. Want more SEO traffic? Answer 9 quick questions, and I'll give you a step-by-step 7-week action plan showing you exactly what you need to do based on your answers to get more traffic. Now imagine how less enticing this 7-week action plan would be if we didn't answer those questions and if this weren't made just for our specific situation. So quizzes can be an excellent lead magnet, especially when you pair it with personalized action steps that follow, based on the results of the quiz. And if you're interested in making one of these for yourself or seeing what it can do as a lead magnet, I've got this video right here. Just click it and I'll show you the complete rundown of how to get started, and I'll help you decide if it's for you. So again, click right here and I'll see you over there in a second.